Welcome back to the Explainer. Now, if you're the kind of person who doesn't just watch the matches, but actually tracks the global conversation around them, well, you are definitely in the right place. Today, we are diving deep into the digital footprint of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. We're going to rank the top 10 most viewed official YouTube highlights so far. It's going to be a fun one. Okay, let's dive into this. But before we look at the 2026 numbers, we actually have to establish a historical baseline. 8.5 million views. That is the absolutely colossal number sitting on the full penalty shootout between Morocco and Spain from the 2022 World Cup. I mean, that's a massive figure, right? It perfectly illustrates the absolute peak potential of digital football fandom. So that brings up the big question. Who is leading the pack in 2026? We know that historical ceiling is just astronomically high, but how are the matchups of the current tournament actually stacking up? Well, let's leave the ghosts of 2022 behind us for a minute and look squarely at the data we have right now. Kicking off the top 10. So the crucial point here is the immense variation in viewership just within the bottom half of our list. Down at number 10, you've got Sweden's massive 5-1 victory over Tunisia pulling in 89,000 views. But as we move up through Côte d'Ivoire and Scotland's super tight 1-0 wins, the numbers start rapidly escalating. By the time we hit ranks 7 and 6, we're seeing these really tense draws, like Qatar versus Switzerland with 518,000 views, and the Netherlands versus Japan at 559,000, breaking right past the 500,000 mark. It's super interesting because these tense, evenly matched games are actually pulling significantly more post-game eye rolls than the big blowouts in this tier. Approaching the million mark. And this brilliantly illustrates how steep the climb toward that 7-figure milestone really is. At number 5, Germany, literally putting 7 goals past Curaçao, draws 631,000 views. Then, stepping up to number 4, Canada's 1-1 draw with Bosnia and Herzegovina pulls ahead with 761,000. And finally, sitting comfortably at number 3, Australia's 2-0 victory over Turkey is knocking right on the door of the million club with over 942,000 views. The million-view threshold. Now, what's really interesting about this is the sheer scale of the gap between third and second place. Like we just saw, our number 3 match, Australia versus Turkey, sits at just under 1 million views. But then look at number 2. Brazil's 1-1 draw with Morocco hits 1.7 million. I mean, that isn't just a step up, that is a rocket ride. A high-stakes draw featuring a footballing giant like Brazil going up against 2022's breakout star Morocco. It literally almost doubled the viewership of the third-place match. And now, the 2026 viewership champion. 1.8 million views. Just take a second to let that volume of traffic sink in. In a tournament that has been absolutely filled with incredible matchups, this single number represents the absolute peak of fan attention so far. The crown goes to the USA's dominating 4-1 win over Paraguay. With 1.8 million views, this match stands as the undisputed leader of the 2026 tournament highlights. It edged out the Brazil-Morocco draw by 100,000 views to claim the absolute number 1 spot. 4 goals, 1 totally dominant performance, and almost 2 million people flocking to YouTube to watch it happen all over again. The future of fandom. So, we've charted the climb, right? From 89,000 views all the way up to our current 2026 champion at 1.8 million. But remember our 2022 benchmark from the beginning? That Morocco versus Spain shootout sitting at a massive 8.5 million views? It really begs the question, what is it going to take for a 2026 match to finally eclipse that record? Is it going to be a dramatic final or maybe some unbelievable upset we haven't seen coming? Whatever it is, keep your eyes on the pitch and definitely keep your eyes on the data. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.